So this player has flown all the way from Malta, and I've been coaching him solidly for a week. I've coached him online for about 18 months, but we've been really struggling to get above that 60 average. When he started, he was averaging in the 30s, so he's definitely improved a lot. But a full week of in-person training, and we're going to see how much better we can get him. At the end of the video, I'll reel off all the records, his personal records, I should say, that we've managed to beat. It's definitely worth a listen. Until then, let's just see what he can do. First leg, it's a little bit scrappy, to be fair, from him in particular, but I do start scrappy myself. You want to see his second leg, trust me. And bear in mind, this player has never averaged over 70 in an actual game. Most of his legs, most of his matches, I should say, are between a 50 average and a 60. 65 is a very good day for him. It doesn't happen very often. At the start of the week, we did a little assessment and we saw where his game was at, and he was averaging around 57 over 3 legs. Which is okay. It's definitely a massive improvement to what it used to be. I mean, like I said, it used to be in the 30s. There was a time we were really trying to average 50. His improvement's been pretty amazing, but by here you can see he's a bit nervous getting started. He was playing a lot better than this on the practice and on the training before it, but this happens when people first start trying. Nevertheless, if we can get him averaging anywhere in the 70s, it's going to be the first time he's done that over 3 legs against somebody. He's hardly ever done it on the practice board. So that's our goal for the week. And this is his last day with me. We've only played a handful of times against each other. We've mainly just been training. So if he doesn't do it now, we failed. But more importantly, he's definitely playing far, far more consistently. And his best starts are far, far better than they were. His actual throw is getting better. I would say it's something we've worked really hard on. That was good darts. I'm happy with that 93. They were nice and straight. But if you look at his pre-shot, head forward, everything's set, elbows nice and still. It's not moving much at all. Wrist and fingers going through. And that was good. Good 60 on the last visit. And you get, see the wrist didn't go through. Softer, flick the wrist through. It's exactly what I told him as he did it, and our last start was a lot better again. Start follow through, keeping the wrist and the fingers going through. That's one of his biggest problems. But he was moving his elbow quite significantly. Gotta keep straight, so just about. Good thinking going to the 18s. So easy to drop low on those 18s. I didn't think I was going to go to 18s because I know it left the bogey shot, but at the time, I was probably just getting it down. I've had a really, really bad start by here with that terrible visit. I had a 31, so I'm probably thinking, Dad, just keep them straight. 43, but look how close they are. It's better, you know. That's okay. That happens. Human error. But he's definitely a little bit. He started this leg a little bit nervy. 134 beautiful darts to set up. Double 14. Yep, I like that. Let's just see what he's got. Keep it straight. Hit something. So this leg was about typical for him when he first came over. In fact, the average is, 56. That's about bang on what he was averaging. But that was definitely nervy. When I list off everything he's achieved over the last 2 days at the end of this video, you'll understand why. It was pretty impressive, some of the things he's done. I am very, very proud of him. And in Malta, if we can get him to average mid-70s quite consistently, or 65 on a bad day, he's going to be a very dominant player over there. He's going to have a very good chance. That was excellent. See how straight they were? Dead straight in a line. That was beautiful. They all hit the board really firm. Timing on the throw looked good. That was as good as you're ever going to throw 3 darts, to be fair to him. And that was more like it. And that's kind of when I thought, yep, he settled down. He was just thinking too much about his average. Thinking too much about what we were trying to do. And this was just one attempt. We didn't play multiple games this day. We practiced. We practiced hard. We worked on his throw a lot. And then we just went for it. No second chances. So there is a fair bit of pressure on him, but to be fair. 2 solid tons. Now he's looking like a different dart player. I was very happy to go out with 19 darts on the first leg, considering how bad I started, but scrappy start again. I'm going to need some good scores. But more importantly, this is about him. I don't really care about my game. At this point, I'd been playing 14 days out of the last 16, and the 2 days I didn't play, I'd been travelling for 24-hour flights. Wow. Turned down the 180 and went for the 177. Even though I left the boogie, he did the right thing by not going for that 180 because the dart had landed funny. But 100, 100, 139. What a leg of darts. And they've all been solid. It hasn't been like one high, one low. They've all been very good. Very consistent, very solid. None of them close to the one of the 5. And again, straight back in the middle. Straight again. Dead centre. That's perfect. This is what we've been working on now. I give him some advice here on the shot. I tell him to go 18s. 18s because he's a very good double 4 hitter. And if you do go for the bull for double 16, yes, this can be good if you hit the 25 or the bull. But if you hit a single one, you're coming back for 84, which is a much, much harder shot than 64. And I'm just explaining that to him by here now. He's so far ahead, it wouldn't have been worth him leaving 81. 81, much less chance of him taking it out. And if I do it at 180, it'll put pressure on. So I want a makeable shot. So you want to be keeping it safe. That's my advice to him by here. And that average has gone up to 77.4. Gotta get 2 trebles. Ooh, needed that one. 81 scored. It's enough to stop me from letting my average die in this leg, but I'm totally out of it. He's absolutely battered me in this leg. Treble 8, beautiful. Now double top, right on the wire, double 15, 15 dart leg, and there it is. The best leg he's ever thrown against somebody. On the practice board this week, not playing against anyone, just throwing, he bottled back-to-back 180s for the first time in his life. 180, treble 20. Missed the last one, went straight in the big 5. But he still took that out in 14 darts, which was the best leg he'd ever thrown, even in practice. Even excluding playing against someone. So to do a 15 darter against me by here, when I'm putting him under pressure with the cameras on, that is pretty damn outstanding. But I'm not going to show him I'm too proud just yet. I don't want to get him too excited. Because he's bound to get excited himself after that. Last thing he needs is me getting too excited with him. There we go, 45. But one good leg. Started with 89. I was a bit unlucky there with the treble 3, but 89 is not a terrible score. Just try to pop a treble in. I'll try and go out in 15, 18 darts myself. 58, only 58. Can't complain with those though. That was lovely. Simple as that. Nice and straight, plenty of power. All just above the treble on the 19s. Is what it is. Sometimes they don't go. What can you do? There, see his hand kicking? Wrist and fingers, softer. Bang, straight back in. There we go. As soon as he's getting the wrist and the fingers through straight, which is what we've worked so hard on this week, he's looking like a different player. Elbow still though. All the time. 180 coming in. Ooh, deflected. 140. That is unlucky. But it still puts me on a good leg. 89. 58, 140. 214 after 9. That's a good leg of darts. I can still go out on 15 by you. Solid 10 and then take it out. That's unlucky. Go straight there. To be fair, there's one that's missed by there, but human error. It happens sometimes. At least they're on the wire when he's missing. Before, a lot of the time he was closer to the 12s. When he first started, he was hitting 12s and 4s and all sorts. So I'm very happy with his improvement. But there, I was definitely concentrating on his game more than mine. That was terrible darts. Yeah. Get a drink and calm yourself down. But like I said, at this point, it had been a long 2 weeks. I literally came off the flight from America after playing every day. And he landed the day after. Then I had a full weekend and a bank holiday all booked with players doing in-person coaching. So I've been throwing a lot. Okay, treble 20. Needed that one. Got to stay there. Oh, 81. Is it enough? Is it enough? Am I going to have to take the 110 out? Let's see what he can hit. And by here, you can see he's getting nervous. Breathe. Good pre-shot. Head forward. Go at it. Hold your breath. There's the lips closing. I like that. Bang. Yeah, probably shouldn't have switched on the last dot, if I'm honest with him, but at least he got a treble. 110. Can we hit it? Make sure of the first. Now treble 18. Double 18. Bingo.
Ooh, that's it. Nice one. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. I've been playing for 13 days now.
That's a good finish, man.
13 days.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted. 13 days, 9 to 12, 6 to 9 hours of actual throwing.
And doing that.
17-hour long days. Very little sleep. I'm gone now. Honestly. Yeah. I'm totally gone. Ugh. This is getting hard. I'm way overplayed. But if you look at your averages, highest ever average you had?
I think so.
Close?
Yeah.
So this week we've had your highest ever average, closest you've ever been to a 9 darter, 5 perfect darts.
Yeah.
Best ever leg, 14 darts.
Yeah.
Twice we've beaten your record on doubles, 16 darts and 19 darts.
Yeah.
Your highest before was like 14, I think, 15? Something like
Probably,
that? Phenomenal. Far straighter, far better. As soon as you're just using the wrist and the fingers, you're good. And to be, if you hadn't got nervous in the first leg and you were just concentrating on what you were doing again, just found the feel, that average would have been a lot higher. It's that first leg, you've averaged 56. You've averaged 100 in the next leg. Oh, it was a 15 dart that you hit.
15?
It was a 15 dart leg you hit in the second.
Okay. Yeah.
Fair play to you. Yeah, you've gone. That's really good darts. 100, 100, 139, 98, 64 out.
Yeah.
Boom. So that's your second best leg, and it's actually against someone.
Yeah.
Recorded.
Yeah.
Amazing. And then 75 average in the last leg. 45, 125, 41, 100, 64. And that was just a couple of nervy darts, to be fair. That 64 should have probably been an 85 or an 82. You know? Your average is that first leg that's kind of knocked. You've actually, your first leg has killed your average, and it's still the highest average you've ever thrown.
Yeah.
Just shy of 76. Well done. How do you feel?
Happy?
Not a bad week.
No, of course not.
Well done, man.
Thank you.
Take care.
Yeah.